people already say that we're already inspiring them. So I'm like, how much more could we do if we're intentional with that?
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the things that's kind of been pushing me, like, hey, don't be lazy with this because this matters. Like this could really influence, you know, somebody. Creative people, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Creatives Are Essential Podcast. This is episode 11. Listen, we are doing it.
Is it?
Yeah, because
we are doing it.
Yeah. Right.
My name is Christina. I'm joined by
Mark Lee.
Des.
And Joe. Wagwan.
What's going on, people?
What is up? Chilling.
I'm so ready to do another episode because I felt like the last episode was so trash.
I wouldn't say it was trash.
I had fun.
I had fun too, but
engaging.
Was it informative?
Not informative. I said engaging.
it was entertaining. All right.
There was little sprinkles of knowledge, you know, in there.
I guess.
Just have to listen really closely.
That's it.
Really close.
That little part that I put at the beginning of the episode with Mark, that was all the information you're going to get.
Yes.
That's the only insight in the entire episode. I forgot to mention, we are joined by our live, or this episode is being taped. This episode is being taped in front of a live studio audience today. Okay. All the way from Weston, Florida, we have CC Tate, our good friend in the building here. And then also, no, it's okay. And then also we have Will Stitt over there. So we got the whole squad in the building, man.
Yeah, we in here.
Listen, I was thoroughly excited when you told me that we had a second camera and a studio audience.
So happy.
It inspired me because I'm just like, yo, there's growth. We're growing.
I'm gonna use that.
It was the four of us.
I'm gonna use that for when we.
Okay.
So you can't.
You could take one of them. I'll take that. Okay, but yeah, it's growth because before it's just like the four of us. Now there's other people here, so it's just like
got different camera angles.
You
know, come on,
getting fancy, boy.
I hear.
Yeah, CC for the entertainment. We weren't recording, but she kind of hyped us up a little bit.
Yeah, I wish we did though.
It was
those
like
moves or something.
It felt like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
Maybe we could ask her at the end to
She's like, the more I stare at my phone,
the more they'll stop talking about me.
That's funny. So what's up, guys? Like, it's been 2 weeks. What have we missed out on? I feel like I haven't seen y'all all that much since the last one, honestly.
Yeah, it has been a little light. I probably can't give you any exciting updates, so I'll let somebody else go first.
I definitely can't give you guys.
Yeah, no. So me and Des, we went to Orlando last week for a very cool shoot. So that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
How was Orlando?
It was cool.
It was good. That was my first time making the drive myself, and I was tired. Yeah, I ain't never had to pay attention that long. I want a Tesla.
You still need to pay attention.
You still need to pay attention, but you're not locked in like that. I want a Tesla.
People drive past,
and I'm like,
but real talk though, have you seen videos like that? There have been people knocked out cold.
Or doing their makeup or eating or something like that.
Dude was head back, everything out.
That's what I want to be.
People recording him.
Did you see the Tesla that crashed into the 18-wheeler truck?
I heard about that.
No.
Yeah.
But was it his fault though? I think it was the other driver's fault.
No, it was his fault. I mean,
how you know?
I saw the video.
It's like, I know.
You can see when there's an 18-wheeler truck in front of you and your car's going into it. If you're awake and present, then you know you can press the brake. But dude was knocked out and ran into the truck.
Well, I'm sorry. I do not trust technology that much to
I'm not saying I would be out cold, but it's a very strenuous thing.
Listen,
an hour and a half, 2 hours. All right. 3 hours. I was like eating pretzels, trying to stay awake.
So are you a person that heavily relies on GPS instructions as opposed to just figuring out the way? Because I think there's kind of a blessing in still knowing directions and to me.
I mean,
GPS. As many times as I've been, I've never had to be the one driving.
Right. So you didn't have to pay attention.
Exactly.
Like that.
Well, Des was with you, right? Wasn't she there to support you on the trip? Maybe,
well, on the way up,
driving?
It wasn't terrible. Now on the way back, I ain't gonna lie.
She
I looked over and this girl was asleep, and I was like,
start questioning who your
The
friends
Lord
are.
is my shepherd.
she was already in a Tesla. She was
I was like, right, she was in the Tesla.
No, but I felt myself dozing, and I'm like fighting it, but I couldn't. I was just so tired.
I was just like, sleep, child.
Man,
Listen,
Sleep.
a
it's
hard
always-
day's work, boy. That shit was crazy.
I'm personally the type, if I'm driving and everybody in the car knocked out, I'm like, oh, when we get back. Y'all driving everywhere.
I'm like, let me turn this volume up
Yeah.
on this podcast because it was an early morning. We had to be up at 5:45, be on set at 7. We didn't finish until, wasn't able to make it to the shoot.
Yes.
But we finished around like 2:33. And then, of course, we had to go to Nike and go to Adidas.
Of
and all that
course.
stuff. So we didn't get on the road till like 5:30.
Duh.
So by that time, I was like dead tired.
Yeah.
So
welcome back.
Yeah.
We're glad
Tesla.
you guys made it safe.
Also,
Yeah, me too, Christina.
reconsider your co-pilot for.
when I tell you, I was doing like 100. Bro,
Des want to fight me after this episode.
I was doing like 100 because I was looking at the estimated time of arrival. I was like, nah, we got to cut some time off of this. I was like,
Not even a 6 shift.
listen.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
How long was it saying? It wasn't that long. Like how long?
well, it was like midday, so there's like traffic and all that stuff. So it was about a
that's
little
the
over
Orlando
3,
traffic is the worst.
but we did it in like 2.5.
Well, I'm sorry. What?
I'll take Orlando traffic over Miami traffic any day.
Yeah, I was gonna say Miami traffic is pretty.
Orlando traffic, we got caught in a little
Yeah.
bit of it, and it was bad.
Yeah.
But once we got on the road, we cut that thing down.
Well, you cut it down.
Why are y'all coming for me?
You know,
To my defense. Well, I ain't even had no defense. Never mind.
No,
What's
no,
the
no, let's
defense?
hear this.
I felt so bad that I fell asleep.
Mhm.
So like you feel yourself dozing, but like you're in a sleep, but you can still hear. And she had the podcast playing, so I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I would pop back in and
I
be
was
like,
like-
listening.
as if I haven't looked over and noticed that you already gone. Like she was still with me the whole time.
She started reciting stuff.
She's trying to trick you into thinking she's what you. Wow. Oh, that was wow. Good
Or
point.
she would like laugh every once in a while. I was like, you ain't hear it.
I did hear it.
Man.
I did.
Look over, that girl was gone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Christina's
Anyway.
just looking like.
That's when you just start being obnoxious, though. When the person's asleep, you just
do.
like turn it
She
on.
slam on the brakes. I was driving crazy. But anyway,
Well, yeah,
I'm
that
glad.
sounds like. But sounds like a good opportunity. Cool trip.
It was
Yeah.
a very cool trip, very important shoot. So I was glad to be a part of it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So
It was so important that NDAs were involved, so that's why we're not getting into details. So just
Well,
so
I
you
didn't
know,
sign
Christina
one.
is big time.
I didn't sign one, but I'm not gonna say because I want to continue to work with them.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to watch it and be like, unprofessional.
Yeah.
Can't be trusted.
Yeah.
So
It was
stay
cool,
tuned.
though. Yeah, I'll definitely be posting whenever that stuff comes out. I was a part of this. So yeah. But I wanted to check in with y'all because I know it's April now, and in the beginning of the year, we all set goals and be pretty excited. Where is everybody? Okay. I think she just answered the question.
Mm-hmm.
Where is everybody like with their goals right now? Or with don't all
Mark?
answer at once.
Oh, you go.
Well, I wanted to do the gentleman thing and say ladies first.
I got something.
I mean, okay, I'll
I
go
wanted
first.
to do be a gentleman, but screw that crap.
I'll go first. I mean, I think I'm right now in a place of discovery and honestly just trying to figure out what the next thing is. Because
Did you have goals at the beginning of the year?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually one goal did come to pass. I'm officially monetized on YouTube now.
Hey.
So obviously with that comes a certain amount of commitment that was put into the
Yeah.
channel, but there are going to be some shifts and changes. So I think I'm just trying to discover like how do I keep this thing going, because like we said last time, it's not necessarily the why for me that's changed, but it's like the what. So like how am I transitioning to still reach my goals, and
Right.
what are those things I'm doing to just kind of keep the
Get the little pivot. I
keep
got
it
you.
floating, you know.
Yeah.
So personally,
That's what's up. One of mine was exercise.
Mm.
So like I lost the weight that I wanted to, but then I couldn't tone the way I wanted to.
Mhm.
And I started off strong, like every day, boom, 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 and then I kind of like
At
fell
the beginning
off.
of the year?
Yeah. And then I kind of fell off. I'm like, what's another cheat day? And then like 10 cheat days later. Like,
well,
Huey's
right back where I started.
chicken.
January 1.
But I recently started training, so I have a personal trainer now, and
Fancy.
Listen.
that's been dope. That's been keeping me accountable, like for real. Because I don't want to lie to her. She's not, like some people you can lie to. That sounds so bad, but like,
have you
They
lied
don't
to
hold
me?
you accountable.
right.
So much,
And
yeah.
some people, it's
Right.
like, I feel so convicted. So like, no, I have to tell you the truth.
Right,
so
right,
she's
right.
one of those people.
So some
So-
people's opinions matter, while the other opinions don't.
So how about you, I mean, essentially.
Pretty much, low key. For me, I mean, I always set goals at the beginning of the year, but you never know how the year is gonna
Yeah.
go. One of the goals that I really did have was to be more intentional with Creatives Are Essential, but I feel like I've kind of fallen off a little bit, like along the way. But I'm starting to refocus and everything now.
Yeah.
But of course, there's work that you have to keep up with that can kind of be not a distraction because it's good opportunities and stuff,
Mhm.
but like how do you manage both? So I feel
Yeah.
like my intentions were to do this, and sometimes I kind of get pulled away.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, I have a financial goal in my mind of how much money I want to make this year.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
See, I didn't know we were talking about things outside of like creative.
I almost said the N word. I said
Insert
goals.
here.
Oh, I mean, I was just thinking solely like based on our creative work.
I just said goals.
Sorry,
In general.
sorry.
No, that's fine.
We'll come back
I
around.
said
Come back
workout.
to me.
Yeah, I think for me, definitely,
Yeah.
like, I think,
But-
like, again, I mentioned this a few episodes ago. Like, once I turned 30, my pants really started to shrink, and like, it was, my
Right.
dryer started
Look at
doing
CeCe's
something
face.
different. Oh.
She's like,
Insert laugh.
So,
Right.
so there were exercise goals that I definitely wanted to hit. I'm finally starting to see some of them, and I know it's just like it's a first step, but like I know like okay, now I need to start bringing my diet into play, right, CC?
I saw you. I
Um,
saw you had a salad the other day.
Yeah,
I
man.
walked in the office. I was like, it smells like plants.
Hated every minute of it, but I did it. No, I'm just
You
kidding.
had a burger
Mm.
today.
He had a burger today. I was gonna say that burger canceled out everything you did last week.
It was an impossible burger,
yeah,
right?
yeah, thank you. It was an
Right.
impossible cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all sound
It
like
was-
y'all lying.
Yeah, at least someone had. my
You
back.
definitely sound like you lying.
No, I was trying to help him.
That's what
I know, a lie.
oh.
Yeah.
I was helping him by lying. No, but I did eat. I needed to eat something. Something's better than nothing. But anywho, yeah, I'm starting to see some, the fruits of the labor a little bit here. So
Was there no other like option, like food wise?
today,
Yeah.
no, because I'm telling on myself here. I was definitely late to the recording today.
What's
and
late?
let's not do this. I was late today.
Define late.
Late.
And so I didn't want to be trying to like, oh, let me get the healthiest option. Like, no, let me just get something to eat.
So
and
there
hurry
was
to
no
get here.
healthy option at the place that you was at.
Not really. But again, we're not gonna settle
Was
on
it
this.
actually
I'm
an
just-
impossible burger?
No, it wasn't.
I'm just
It
holding you
wasn't.
accountable because you do the same thing with me when
Mm.
I'm like wanting
The
snacks
180
and
was so
and the
quick.
treats.
It's
You
like,
like,
because she had my
but
back
are you
at
on a
first, and then she's like,
diet?
"Nah, screw that, you suck."
I mean,
But yeah, everybody needs some accountability. You're right. Guys.
Yeah.
I got a tight. Sorry.
Well, I think that's the hardest part about any fitness diets, personally. Like, the working out part is the easiest.
Yeah,
But it's always, for me, it's like, all right, now what am I going to eat?
yeah.
yeah, that
That's
is
the
a
harder
struggle.
part.
Yeah.
See
That's
how
the
I'm
harder
quiet because
discipline.
I don't got no fit. Well, I have fitness goals, but when it comes to eating, I just
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
for
mean,
me, I'm an emotional eater. So if I'm like sad,
mm.
then it's like brownies, cookies. If I'm like, oh, I did so good, I'm happy. Yeah. Brownies, cookies.
So
I'm like-
anytime you feel an emotion, brownies.
You remember last time I was like, I did good, right, Joe? I did good for the week.
I should
So-
reward myself.
I should get a blondie with ice cream and all the
And
things.
I mean, I was just trying to be supportive. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
and you let me do it. So
that, I mean,
That's such a strong word.
exactly. But also on a, I guess, skill or professional level. I don't even know what you would categorize it, but like I was trying to, I wanted to post more. I did post something
I did
recently,
see-
and
yeah.
I was just like, "Good
I
job,
was like,
Joe."
Joe, when you take these pictures?
Yes.
And I have some sitting in my drafts right now, ready to post tomorrow. So I'm trying to get, a little, a little routine going at least to be a little more consistent. So
Well, that
That's
was
a
gonna be
good
my
one.
next question for y'all. Like, do y'all feel like at any point, because I already told on myself, but like, do y'all feel like y'all have fallen off at any point this year?
Oh, definitely.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
What
I-
have you fallen off with and why?
If I'm being transparent, obviously I do juggle a full-time job as well as my creative work that I'm
Mhm.
hopefully one day soon will be my full-time. And I think just kind of the fatigue of juggling both, just sometimes honestly you just don't feel like it. You just like,
yeah,
like
Facts.
I just need I just need a day off. And then a day turns into a week, and then a week turns into 2 weeks. But the sad thing about it, well, it can be sad but good
That's
at
a
the same time.
That's a good reason though.
I'm at a place now where I've learned that my subscribers keep me accountable to an extent, because now it's not just like, oh, we're anticipating and waiting for Mark to post. Now it's like, hey, when you gonna drop another video? And you're just like, oh, they're watching. So now you not only have that pressure from yourself
yeah.
to produce, but now the audience is like
Yeah.
asking,
There's
and
an
that's kinda-
expectation.
yeah, that
Yeah.
can keep you accountable, but at the same time can also put like a little
Pressure.
pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that.
So
Say the question again.
Have you feel like you've fallen off?
Mhm.
And if so, what have you fallen off with and why?
Okay, so
Proud of myself for remembering.
Yeah, I saw those
I
wheels
did it.
turning. I was like, let me see if she can get
Like,
it. Let me see.
yes.
For me it is posting regularly. In the beginning of the year, we did like a whole shoot for like my content and stuff and mapped it out for like,
That was last year.
oh, see, shut up. But no, but
well, it's still within the year though.
right. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
I
Thank
see
you.
what you
Because
did there.
it blended into this year.
I'm pretty sure the content ended in like December.
But that's what I'm saying. So like after that, I just kind of like I would post here and there, but not like really be intentional with it. I would just be like, oh, okay, yeah, here's a picture. This is my face. And then it dwindled into like, yeah, I took like a month or so off of social media.
Yeah.
And
it's
now,
healthy though.
right. I think the first time I did it, it was healthy. And then the second time it was just kind of like,
Screw this.
nah, bump this. But it's funny because yesterday I watched a video after the video you sent us. It was like the next video and how to monetize Instagram and how to like build your following. And like I actually watched it throughout. And one thing that she said was, being more intentional with your posting and the amount of times that you post and stuff like that. So that kind of convicted me. So, I mean, we shall see. I don't know if it will actually do anything. We'll see if I actually post stuff. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's my thing.
Yeah, I think for me, I have slightly fallen off because I think I really was trying to put an emphasis on making sure like not letting stuff sit for too long before like I
Right.
start moving on a thing. So like if I do a shoot, like I don't want to waste time
Like,
and
you wanna
putting it
turn
off. I want
you
to
wanna
turn it around real quick so that
Right.
it can be done and out, like, and I'm on to the next thing.
Right.
And I was doing a pretty good job of that. Like, I take I do a shoot, I get the photos in, get the proofs out real quick, let the selection process happen, and then once I get the selection pad, boom, knock them out, get it done. But now, like, I think like I've done like maybe like three events in one shoot in like the last 2 weeks. And I've started moving on them, but like I'm like, okay, at this point, I would have liked to have had like at least
Yeah.
2 of them done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like I realized now, like, okay, you got to get back on the ball a little bit because I did take a moment. I was just like, okay, I just want to lay here and watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and just you know, I need a break just for a little bit because I've been on my feet a lot. But you know, I was supposed to get a massage, but it didn't work out. There was no openings available, so trying to do a little self-care. But
still a part of that club.
I am, but I need to cancel that like ASAP. I got new goals to hit now, and massages ain't part of it. So
no, actually, massages is that what we're referring to? Because massages are good for your body recovery.
They are, but again, I think I have some financial goals I want to hit, and I don't want
being bougie ain't a part of like.
Basically,
you want to wait till you get that
exactly,
and then be bougie again.
Exactly,
right.
You know what's up,
right? Yeah,
No,
for me, again, like I wanted to be like super intentional with Creators Are Essential, and then January, mid-February, I'm like, things are going well, like the posting and all that stuff. Like, I have the whole calendar mapped out. We were supposed to go to Houston.
Mark's still salty, boy.
We were supposed to go to Houston to film a video, and that got canceled. And then the guest that we were supposed to have on in February had to reschedule like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like a series of events that just kind of like sucks the motivation out of you and the inspiration. And that just kind of like puts you into just being uninspired. And then it's like, you just get lazy with it eventually. Like, I don't think I've posted anything on Creatives Are Essential since the last podcast. And that was another thing. I wanted to do a shoot every month so that there would be always like fresh content. So we ain't continuously posting me and Corey and
I mean, y'all never asked me
Blair.
to be a model yet. So I'm kind of offended.
I think that's before
she just
like we started like really meshing, right?
Yes.
Whatever I need to say in this moment.
Yes,
that's all good. That's cool. I wasn't my summer body wasn't ready yet.
Hey,
but it is now.
Mark, don't feel any type of way. They
good.
wanted me to model too, and they never came back to it. So
it's all good.
It's all good.
No, when I did the shoot with you, I didn't like know them.
The first shoot.
The
very first shoot. Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that we did in January.
Oh.
But also, yes. Yes.
She on the 2020 time. So.
Right. Can I tell you, I don't even know what day it is.
So
I'm
we'll just plan a shoot.
Yeah,
us.
we'll just
And
we'll
what y'all
just
gonna
do
shoot?
whatever we want.
We got to get back on it, though.
Okay, yeah.
I want to start shooting, like, again, and that's another thing, too. I want to come out with new merch, so it's not just, like, it's just a lot. It's just been a lot. And eventually, I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm going to just stay in bed and watch
pause
YouTube.
button.
Yeah.
But do you think that it like relates to things that, like, if there's for me, I work from home, and I'm always about 95% of my time is spent at home since I work from home, and I do find that oftentimes it's hard to find inspiration when I'm home. So it's like I need to get to a place where I'm like intentionally going different places and like maybe traveling. I think that's why Houston also was kind of a letdown for me, because I feel like it was kind of like, all right, this is going to be something that kind of re-triggers my inspiration, and I can, just get back to creating and it's feeling fresh still, as opposed to just, hey guys, it's me again.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing
Yeah.
in the
Same
same
thing
place.
I've always done.
Yeah.
It's nothing new.
But that's why, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because we planned a shoot
And
for Houston, like it was like a
Mhm.
whole thing. Yeah, so we had intentions to do it.
And the thing is, we're like, by now, I wanted to put one out like once a month or so. So we're going to be traveling. The plan was to be traveling frequently. So once Houston didn't happen, and we were like still kind of like waiting to see when's a good time to possibly go back. And even trying to shoot something here, it just seems like it hasn't been as easy as I thought, or working out as I thought. But personally, I feel like traveling keeps me fresh, keeps me inspired. And then especially with COVID not really being able to go anywhere, it's like I'm tired of just being here. Like I was so happy to go to Orlando.
Yeah.
And it's just Orlando.
Let's go somewhere.
But to like be in a different place and like sleep in a hotel room again, it was just like, this is what I need.
With that hot water.
Yeah.
You know how good, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you don't
but
have
know
hot
how
water
good
at
that
home?
hot, no, like
But like hot water
do
that
we need to talk
it
after this?
don't run out.
Right, that doesn't run out.
It doesn't run out.
You know what I
What
mean?
kind
That
of hot
type.
water?
You know,
My
hot water
never runs out. I'm
See?
sorry.
I mean, mine. It's called a hot water heater.
Right, so eventually it starts getting cold.
Right. All right. Well,
First
whatever.
world problems, guys.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He just lived
You
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I just don't be in the shower that long, I guess, for hot water to run out. I mean, I guess, now that I think about it, like if you're like in a family, like in a household where, several people got to get into the bathroom and it's like, oh, you waste all the hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'll take it back. I'm sorry for judging you. I apologize.
Anywho.
They don't forgive me for those of you that are listening on the audio
Anywho.
platform.
I just made a face.
Yeah, like I look forward to that to keep me inspired and keep
Mhm.
me like, really functional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when that's taken away or like plans fall through, it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
It's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it made me think, like, do you think we're too soft when it comes to like our dreams and our goals?
I was actually going to say something about that because I think you said that you took a break and you were just like watching whatever show you were watching.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yes.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that after because I have a comment. But anyway, it's so funny how in our minds we say, yeah, I'm going to take a break for mental health or whatever. And then that break turns into same thing like with my workout and like eating. It's like, yeah, I'm going to have a cheat day. But then like the next day I get sad. I'm like, okay, like you justify it.
Right.
And then eventually before you know it, it's like, yeah, like you haven't put out anything for like a minute, So I just think that we have to be intentional with that and like be aware of, okay, I'm doing this for right now and not like let it turn into a thing.
I'll say this because I think for me, like, I think we've all kind of run into situations just like that, like you just said, where it's like, okay, we do need a break, but then that break becomes too extended. Like it's too.
You set up camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I don't know why this makes sense, but it does for me. But like in those moments where I know, okay, you need to get up and start moving again, like I just tell myself, stop being lazy. And I don't know what it is about that phrase, like me literally telling myself that, but it's like, okay, like, you don't feel like it, but do it type of thing.
That don't work for me.
I know it does. Again, I know it's different for everybody, but for me, it's like
True.
I committed.
Stop being the gym. This is me yesterday. Stop being lazy.
Tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but that's what worked for me, and I think we all have to find that thing that works for us, or whatever gets us back on that mode of like, okay, gotta get moving again. I gotta get this thing going. I got these goals I gotta hit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I just know for me, like, at least taking those little micro moments to at least win those. You know what I mean? To put me in a place where I'm like, okay, now I'm getting back in that mode again, because I don't want to sacrifice all the work I've done at this point to like for physically at this point. If you think about it, like, okay, I've been working out and I'm seeing results, but then if I'm like, yeah, that was great, now let me take a week off and eat whatever, I might as well have not. Back. Yeah, exactly. So I want to be able to build on top of what I'm doing, as opposed to like doing something and then kicking it out and then starting all over again. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But creatively, I feel like it's kind of hard to have that same mentality, because you have to have it when you show up to do something. Yeah. You know, like I don't want to like push through to like create a video or something, whatever, and then I'm just sitting there like, well, I'm here. Yeah. It's just nothing is happening.
I think where the shift and the challenge is because, let's say in the event you are still working a full-time job, whether you want to or not.
Well, I don't.
I'm saying that thing has to get done. So there's like, I think, a different level of accountability, because now you have somebody else telling you to do that thing.
You are your accountability.
Right. And in the sense where you're your own accountability, you're like, yeah, I deserve a break. Yeah, I need rest. And then it becomes like, oh, well, now I've been resting for 3 weeks. Now you need to, get up. And I think it's just like, do you think it's related to our emotions and how we?
I think that has a large part to play in it, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you're working for somebody, whether you feel like it or not, that thing has to get done in order
It's
to get a
true.
check.
Now, will it be the best? Will they get the best out of me? If I just feel like I'm doing it because I have to do it, probably not. And I don't want to operate that same way when it comes to my own stuff.
Yeah.
You know? But I feel like I used to be a lot more like resilient when I was younger. Now I just be like, man, I just lay here.
Watch The Crown.
That's why I say, like, do you think we're too soft when it comes to our creative stuff or our dreams or, you know, whatever, our goals?
I mean, I think that's something you have to explore within yourself. And I definitely think that can be the case, you know, because, you know, I mean, I don't know, because sometimes people put on too. Because, you know, a lot of people be like, yo, I'm grinding, trying to get my thing going. Like, you know, team don't sleep. I ain't doing nothing.
What?
I'm focused. I'm focused. If it ain't working for me, I'm getting it out my life. You know what I mean? Like, and are you really though all the time? I don't know. I mean, again,
And if
maybe
you
they
are,
couldn't
mean,
be good on
kudos.
you.
And
And
yeah, kudos, because
now-
that ain't me. Team
yeah.
no sleep.
No, I mean, I need
I am
sleep.
team
You guys have
sleep
seen
all
me
the
when
way.
I don't have sleep. It's not a pretty sight at
Yeah.
all. Like, it's...
All right. Well, we'll be back after these messages.
We'll be like, all right, Joe, it's time to go home.
Yeah, the allergies kicking. I'm so sorry.
It's accurate too. You
As
know
I was
it is.
doing it, I'm like, I should be. Oh, it's too late. Sorry.
Y'all have the same
Yeah.
doctor because you be back here like.
Only when I'm on here. It's
No, but
hot.
it's real though. Like, I'm a mess when, you know,
Yeah,
I'm exhausted.
That
So,
phrase wouldn't work for you.
it does not. It does not work for me.
Team
I need
get
my
sleep.
team get sleep. Yeah.
Put that on a hat.
Yeah, for real. But I think there is a level of, I guess, growth in our discipline that always has to be, you know, being addressed, always being addressed to be like, okay, this was, you know, this is last year, Joe. We're not doing this year. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you might have taken, let's say, you know, 3 days off last year, but you know what? Let's just take 2 this year or whatever. You know what I mean? Find those spaces where, you know, okay, I'm going to improve myself in this area, so that there's a gradual progression as opposed to just being like winging it. Because I think I am a believer that once you put stuff like out there, like on paper, things make a whole lot more sense, I guess, as far as like how, you know, you operate, how you function and stuff like that. So being able to see measurables to say, okay, now I'm going to do less of this. So that helps you to have like a mindset to be better in an area. Like I remember when I did a budget for the first time. And
That helps for real.
when you
Just
put
seeing it
money
on paper, I'd be like,
and you
what?
and
see
where your
it
money
goes.
is going.
How many
It's
times
like-
do I need to go to Huey's?
Like, seriously, like
I'm still gonna go. But how many times do I really need to go?
that's real. You start seeing where that money goes. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like how more important is it to like budget our time? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
man, how much time am I devoting to this and that and the third?
Yeah.
And like, how the way I'm, you know, divvying out my time, is that matching up with the goals that I want to meet?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But even that, so if you budget out your time, right, and you allot time to do certain things, when you are there, again, I don't want to show up to something just
Mhm.
because I put myself on a schedule and then I'm sitting there like, you know, like
Right. I
I
made
don't
it.
got nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so even with that, like how do you stay inspired?
This might be cliche, and I'm not saying this keeps me inspired, but I think it can be a tool to keep me inspired. But also accountability, as cliche as that might sound, whether it be your peers or your creative peers or whatever the case, like people you tell your dreams to kind of be like, hey, remember that thing you said you were going to do? Like, how is that going?
Yeah.
You know, to keep
Right.
you kind of, because there's going to be moments where you don't want to do it yourself. And like I said, like whether it be my subscribers who are not keeping me accountable, like, oh, I actually have to like create some sort of content because now it's not just me. There's other people now that are watching.
Right.
Or I know like I don't want to see Christina and she's gonna be like, hey, so what's up with that thing you said you're gonna do? Like, how's that coming? And you just know like when it comes to Jenya, or your you know,
yeah.
like you know she's gonna ask you these questions like,
Yeah.
oh, so how did you eat this week?
Yeah.
Have you been working out?
Yeah.
Like, how's that going?
Yeah.
And you don't want to like disappoint her.
Yeah.
So
that's
it
good.
keeps you like, all right,
Yeah.
at least I know I'm meeting her Friday. It's Wednesday.
Right.
I got 2 days not to lie. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
That's so true though. Yeah, when you have that person, it's kind of like you're doing the thing for yourself, yes, but it's nice knowing like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to disappoint
Yeah.
that person. Yeah.
Well, for me, I think, or at least with Creators Are Essential, what's been helping me right now is just remembering why I started or why I wanted to be more intentional in the first place. And I feel like, you know, our platform is growing a lot. Even like you said, or somebody said, like they've been paying attention to the podcast, and I noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the podcast is great, but there's so much more,
Yeah.
you know, that we can do. And I feel like we could really. People already say that we're already inspiring them. So I'm like, how much more could we do if we're intentional with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the things that's kind of been pushing me like, hey, don't be lazy with this because this matters. Like this could really influence, you know, somebody. So
and it could just be the thing that kind of pushes us all into our destiny in a sense, like
right.
or now it's like, and I think for me that's why I was so excited when it came to having a second camera and having a studio audience member because
who's now on the floor.
Because for me that signifies growth. And it's like, oh, although, you know, no one's being paid to be here or, you know, these are our friends or whatever the case is, but it's showing like, all right, to me, like the possibilities of what can be. And like, oh, it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just inspiring for me. So like,
yeah.
I think those are the things. I don't know. I think I'm rambling at this point. But
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like do you think that in those moments where you don't feel like you have like you said, like, you know, you wanted to get like more content out as far as Creators Are Essential goes, and you know, there was like a little break there. In those moments, do you feel like pushing yourself to do a thing even when you don't feel like it is that growth? Is that like, are you exercising a muscle creatively, or do you feel like it's more so straining a muscle when you try to work, like do something when you don't feel like it?
For me, it's not necessarily like, obviously you want to be excited about everything you do, but sometimes just getting through it, to me, I feel like produces like discipline. And if you think about it, every goal that you've had when you've set it, if you're not consistent with it, whether it's, let's say, financial, like every month I want to put, let's say, $300 in my savings account. And then 2-3 months down the line, you're like, this month I could get away with $150. It's just going to take you that much longer to reach to your ultimate goal. So as opposed to like making the sacrifice to say, I'm still going to put this $300 aside, although I would rather spend it here or buy this shirt or shoes or go on this trip, I'm going to be committed to my goal and make sure that the money I've said I was going to put aside, I'm going to put it aside to keep me accountable and to make sure I'm creating a discipline for myself that's going to get me to that goal.
Yeah, but specifically though, creatively, because I think it's different.
Right.
Like when you have to like draw on your, you know, ideas and, you know, finding a way to create a graphic that is different from what you created before, you know, something from scratch, all that stuff. Do you feel like when you press into that, when you're not feeling it, is that strengthening a muscle or is that straining it?
I feel like it could go either way. But I think it depends on what's stopping me from doing it, right? Like if it's just me being lazy, like I can kind of push through that.
Right.
But if I really just don't got it, I don't want to push through that because I know it's not going to be anything that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
So, but to go based on that question, for you to stop, is there like a certain like limit? Because I often, when I am in those spaces, I say like, I'm going to walk away for an hour, come back, just so that way I'm not forcing a thing. Or sometimes you walk away because you're like, oh, this sucks. But then you come back in that hour and you're like, oh, this ain't that bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
but I think that's another thing too, is like, how often do we give ourselves time to refocus?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and even if it lasts longer than like an hour, what if it's like a week? It's like, let me just stop everything and then just figure out what I'm trying to do, you know, how I want to think, how I want the outcome to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then just reset,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I'm trying to do that now with Creatives Are Essential.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, come back to
Yeah.
what the goal was
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning of the year. And rather than just pushing through and, you know, having something that's just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
you
To
know.
say you have it.
Right. Just
Yeah.
to say that you did it. Like,
Yeah.
let me come back, you know, come back to the mind state that I was at the beginning of the year,
Mhm.
and then pick up where I feel like I kind of dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was just a thought for me because I do like you basically like what you just said. Like there's you got to find that space because there's going to be moments where you got to
Right.
press. Like you're
Mhm.
going to have to press. Like and it's got to get done. When
Right.
a thing's got to get done, you got to figure it out. You know. But then it's like, okay, do I really want to like force this thing?
Exactly. Because you can feel it. You can
'cause
feel
I-
when you forcing
Because
it.
it don't.
Yeah.
It's not up to the standard that you see in your head or something like that. You know.
Yeah. And not to get deep, but I think it's important that we are like self-aware. Like we know our feelings and we know, okay, am I, like you said, like, am I feeling this because I'm lazy or am I feeling this because like
Right.
I'm like not mentally able to like do this thing? Like we
Right.
have
Yeah.
to be, you know,
Hate to
honest
be a
with
devil's
ourselves.
advocate, but how do you
Right before he bees. Right before he's the devil's advocate.
right.
But how do you manage something like that when there's a deadline?
Well, when there's a deadline, you just got to get done. That's what I'm
Right. I
saying.
mean, like, if when it comes to my client stuff, like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I got to push through and do whatever.
Mhm.
But when it comes to my personal
Yeah.
creative
Yeah.
things, like,
Okay.
you know,
I
it's
guess
different.
I guess for me, because although it's your client stuff, I think that's more of a reflection on myself, or all of us can be, because even though you're doing something for a client, there's still this like sense of ownership that you
Of
take
course.
over, it,
Absolutely.
and you're like, I want this thing to represent me well.
And it,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Exactly.
I mean, there's stuff that I have to turn around, and I know, like, when I'm delivering it to them, I'm like, this is good. You
Mhm.
know, there's very rarely work that I turn around, like that I turn in that I'm like, I don't feel good about this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And sometimes I'll ask for more time if I don't feel good
Mhm.
about it,
Mhm.
just to sit with it more. But there are some times where I'm like, dang, if I did have more time, or if this was my own thing, how much more work would I put
Mhm.
into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so when there's no, but that's the tough thing about the stuff being your own, because there's no deadlines attached to,
Yep.
you know, what you want to do. So
Mhm.
Yeah. And I hate to be the devil's advocate again.
Do you?
Here we
But-
go.
Yeah.
No, but we're talking about walking away. We're talking about taking breaks. We're talking about all these things where I feel like there has to be a level or a certain point where we say to ourselves, all right, Mark, go to bed, because you constantly pushing yourself to go and get certain things done that can eventually lead to burnout, which can then lead to, all right, it's okay if I take today off, which then turns into a week and a month. And it's kind of like this cycle because,
How you
That-
being devil's advocate?
well, I'm just, okay, maybe.
You just want to be the devil. That's it.
Okay, or just I'm just saying, like, you know, how it all relates to one another. It's like this circle, or like this, you know, this.
Oh, because I'm like, I'm with you. I'm gonna go to bed.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I guess.
I'm agreeing with you.
Forget it. Angels in the outfield.
Hey, tilt the camera down. You can see the little Nas X shoes on this video.
The devil is alive. but all right. I'm not coming back here next week.
Shut up.
Just joking.
You was just so excited.
I was. I get excited when I come here. I get to see my peoples, and we're doing something that's contributing. And I just felt like,
Yes.
if I didn't do anything purposeful this week, this is
was
it.
this.
I inspired myself.
Yes, because we're here, you know. And sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like it takes a team to push, and you know, the mission
Yeah.
Right.
and the goal, and to keep you remembering, like, all right, why am I doing it? Or even if I don't want to, I might not feel like it this week, but next week, or
Right.
or even like I said to you guys coming into it, I wasn't necessarily excited to be here and do a podcast today. Not that I wasn't looking forward to it,
Mhm.
but it was just the simple fact of, oh, Cece's gonna be our audience today. Oh, Will's gonna, you know, like
Yeah.
do a second camera. And for me, I was like, that's the inspiration that I
Yeah.
needed to, like, all right, I am excited to be here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
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 Which also goes to show sometimes it's just you need slight changes can make a big difference.
That's so true.
When like coming into a project or something like that. Like, okay, you've taken pictures several times before, but this time we're gonna do it at the park,
Yeah,
or
change
you know what I mean,
scenery.
change the
Yeah.
scenery, or
Yes.
like there's some type of theme
Right.
or whatever. And now, okay, the wheels start
Right.
turning.
Like, how do
again.
we spice it
Yeah,
up a little
exactly.
bit? But that goes back to the pictures with Lexi, right? Like, I don't be taking pictures like that. But I was like, I just feel like I need to do something different because I'm tired of just doing the same old thing, And like, for example, like during quarantine, when all of us was feeling burnt out, like William, he picked up film photography.
Mhm.
And that's just something to kind of like spice up your day-to-day, creative life. So it's like, what can we add to just to
make
switch it up?
Yeah. You gotta keep moving. Like find something else that sparks your interest. Don't stay so stuck in one space. Like I think for me, when I see that my work becomes formulaic, then I have to start thinking like, what was that?
That means formula. There's
I know. I was thinking
step by step.
Never mind. I was kind of like, I've never heard that word.
Yeah,
That's
like
that was that
formulaic?
look. Yeah.
I wish you could have saw the face though. Watch it on the playback. It was an interesting one. It didn't quite communicate what she
should
thought.
zoom in.
But yeah, once it starts becoming formulaic, it's just kind of like, okay, what can I do differently now, or what else can I pick up outside of this? Like, should I shoot a video instead? Like, I haven't done one of those in a while, or whatever. Do a TikTok. Like, little things can really make a difference. Like, I don't know.
I feel like where I struggle with that, I be finding expensive things. I'm like, oh, we're gonna go to New York for the day. No, you
like, Mark,
that's expensive. Like,
we don't gotta travel every time. Granted, I'm with you,
right?
but not
like,
every time.
And then I think I was telling Christina one day because I just got the Canon, and I was like, oh, and I'm gonna get this specific lens. Like, maybe that's gonna keep me inspired. And then she made this face. She's like, and I was like, I think that's a pretty expensive habit to buy new gear every time I need some inspiration.
Yeah.
And this gear is going to make me inspired to do whatever type of shoot or video. And, so it's like, how do you find the balance and just kind of just bringing it back to reality? Like,
That's so,
I mean, I'm a big believer in like using what you have.
Yeah.
Granted, I do have a lot of gear and all that stuff, but it's never because like, oh, I'm gonna get this and then I'm gonna feel like this wave of inspiration, because that never worked.
Yeah.
I did that a lot in the
Gear
beginning.
fades.
It don't. It don't ever work. I'm thinking about starting a vlog though.
Ooh. Hey, we're all here for that.
I just
all
want
of
something
our
different.
reactions.
I've been telling y'all, get on the vlog tip. I've been saying, we could do like a group thing, but it's all good.
I ain't never heard that.
Sorry. But I encourage it. You should do it.
I've been thinking about it.
Do
I feel
it.
like Orlando would have been good to start.
Yeah, you
with.
did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I was
mention
like,
that.
man, we should have been vlogging this, but
Yeah.
I mean,
You
we
know,
can always
I'm
plan
here
a trip
for
to
it.
New York.
Oh, damn.
Or
Well,
Houston.
that's been another.
So, Mark, what's been inspiring you lately
This week in particular,
since the last
And-
time?
yeah.
since the last time, I'm gonna be very honest. It wasn't until I walked in here today and I found out that we had CC and Will joining us. That inspired me. Oh, I was supposed to
Aw.
use one of them. I'm sorry. CC one.
She said
No,
she
I
had
got
some-
another one.
Okay, yeah, that inspired me because I'm just like growth. Yes, we're it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
something fresh, something exciting.
I think for me, the Orlando trip, that for me was a definite curveball. Like, we didn't see that coming because,
It happened quick.
yeah, it was just like, okay, well, plot twist. But I think the way in which you handled it, I think it was really good. I think you kept your composure, and you
Which
handled
part? when we both got COVID tested and then found out that you couldn't be on set.
right that.
Got you.
And then it's okay. But
I felt so bad.
yeah, I tested negative, guys. No
Yeah.
COVID here. But it was just the fact that I came and then I couldn't be on set. So now I have to like
NDAs and all that stuff.
figure out what am I gonna do in Orlando?
Like, it's not too hot in my car, right?
Right. I'm like in the car
It's
for
not like
like
Disney World's there.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Who got
doesn't
money to go on that
cost,
work?
$1 million.
But the way in which Christina handled it when she was on the phone with the contact person or whatever, it just, I thought she handled it well for a situation that it wasn't her fault, but at the same time, like, she feels bad, but then at the same time, she has to go perform. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
not letting, the feelings and all that,
I must
distract her.
say you look very directorish today. You got your camo with
Thank
your hat.
you.
Yeah,
You look like
Thanks.
I dig.
And
this is what you were gonna wear that day.
No.
Oh.
I had on the same shoes, but yeah. But yeah.
She was ready. She's like, I'm gonna wear the shoes that's gonna be comfortable. 'Cause I'm gonna be standing all day.
Right. See, I was ready, but
Yeah.
Little did she know, she was sitting in my car.
yeah. Watching 60 Days In. Like Christina would come and be like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." No eye contact.
Tears flowing.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. This is nice.
I felt terrible.
Oh man.
No, but it was all good.
It was a good trip though. It was a good experience.
Yeah.
Joel,
I think for me was Elevation and Maverick City released their newer single.
Oh, shut
Wait
up.
for it.
Wait for it. Wait on it.
Yes.
Wait on it. Listen, the song is super dope. Like
When?
this
Friday.
like maybe it was like a few days ago. But the video, like I watched the video for it because I don't typically like to watch like the
Same.
music videos. But something was just leading me to it, and like they like first of all the space that they were in, like they had like the Kanye like how they have like the big circle.
Had you never seen the gyro?
I did see that, but
Okay.
like I'm just kind of describing the space right now. But like I thought it was a cool set for one. But I'm saying, but like I've seen it, but I didn't like actually like
Pay
take
attention.
I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention to it like that. But the way they were like playing off of each other
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, and like how they were just collaborating in this spontaneous moment
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
this song was just so inspiring to me. And like it in the song itself was talking about like waiting on God
Mhm.
and allowing him, like, cause he's done like several things for us before, and like like just wait on the do what he calls you to do, and wait on him to come like and do what he said he's gonna do for the
Yeah.
next thing. And it just really rocked me, man. It was so good. Like I was on the way to church on Sunday, like, get a little stronger. That's what happens.
The person
But-
next to Joe at the
yeah.
red light is like,
The window just goes up.
I said, I'm waiting on it.
they like,
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, it was really good, and it made me think about like our session that we did for Couch Fest and stuff. And
yes, which is coming out this week. By the
Yeah.
time this drops, I think it's the next day. So if this releases on Thursday, it'll be Friday.
yeah. So
Get your tickets.
yeah, man. Couch Fest 2021.
Yes. Well, mine. I was gonna say actually the Orlando thing. I just feel like I've been encouraged lately when it comes to just different opportunities, just kind of like popping up. But last night I saw that our good friend Homley
Hamdam.
was shooting with the one and only
Yeah.
Kev on stage and his wife Melissa, who I definitely want on the podcast. So if you listen to this, please,
Well, both of them or just Melissa?
Melissa. I mean, I'll
Kevin's
take
great.
both. I'll take both.
Yeah.
But like, if
If-
I had to choose,
Yeah, come through.
it would be.
So we're
Melissa.
practically friends with them
Yeah.
now.
Like 1 degree of
6 degrees.
separation.
Yeah.
1 degree of separation,
Yeah.
bro.
Yes. So he was actually shooting like their anniversary, like they were doing an anniversary shoot. So he was doing the video for it. And I was like, man, it just hits different when you see your own people like
Mhm.
winning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
Big
he's
time.
out there in LA, like living his best life.
Yeah.
You know, they could have had anybody,
Yeah.
but our friend.
It just shows you that like things are possible too.
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
everything is so.
Yeah.
it's much more attainable than we think. Because you
Mhm.
would just think like Kevin and Melissa, they're like
So far.
Yeah.
so far, but I'm like, that's Homley
Yeah.
and Brittany.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Honorable mention for inspiration was the promotion that Kev on stage did for their
Oh yeah.
With
for their
Toby.
comedy show. Yeah, when they
Yeah.
redid the Toby music video. Hilarious.
Great.
I loved it. I love how they went through and just like they recreated this music video, and it was just dumb, and I love it. You
And-
saw when Angel had the beat maker, the beat
Bruh,
machine,
she was
she's
just
like,
and she was stomping on it. Hilarious.
So funny.
And last thing, William got a new car.
Come on,
over
Will,
the
behind the
weekend.
camera.
You know,
Yeah.
so like my heart was just so full that night.
Yeah.
I was just like, you and Will were parked next to each other, and you got a new car. What,
Yeah.
December?
Yeah, in December.
My heart was just about to burst.
Can we bring the new car in?
just roll up the door?
Hey, I'm prophesying one day we got a studio. I'm like, new car. You get a car. Everybody gets a car. Come on, let's bring it in.
But yeah, man, like I was just so happy. So
Yeah.
all those things, all these things happening
Yeah.
like within a few days of each other, my
Yeah.
heart has literally been just about to burst wide open.
Yeah.
Amen.
So
Yeah. Good
Yep.
stuff.
that's what's been inspiring me.
All right. It's a bunch of inspired people.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, that is another episode, Creatives Are Essential podcast. Can I just say, I'm glad we've been consistent.
Yes, we have. I'm a
If-
big pat on the back for us.
If not anything else on social media, I know we have been consistent with this, and in part because of like everybody who's a part of it.
yeah.
Because I know that I can't just like not show up one day.
It goes back to
Right.
what we talked about today. Just pushing through.
True.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
getting
when you
to
don't.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, there's been a couple days where I'm just like, I don't feel like doing it. And then, you know, you got to turn on the smile when the camera comes on. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey guys.
It's like that
welcome to-"
Kanye.
It-
You know, when he didn't realize the camera was on him, he was smiling in the camera. He's like,
Right. Legit.
Opposite.
That's how I be feeling.
It hit different when you have to be in front of the camera. Like to like create.
Yeah.
If you're
Mhm.
not
Yeah,
feeling
yeah.
it, it's one thing to like, you know, do something behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
to be in front, it's like,
mhm.
Low key, because when you be coming in, sometimes you be looking like you in a mood.
yep.
And then you sit down and she's like, all right,
Yeah.
well.
Well, I
Switch it
know
on
for
and
Des, if she, as long as she eats before, then she's
Oh, she's good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, she looked like she was gonna swing on somebody.
Yeah.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And she told me, "Hey, I'll be right back." I thought she was about to go outside and fight somebody.
he was like, everything okay?
I'm like, is she good? She's like,
like-
no, yeah, she's going to get something to eat. I'm like,
oh,
oh,
okay.
okay. All right.
I get it. That makes sense.
I called
I
him.
try,
pulled
but
up.
it's like, nah, I can't. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say fasting is not for me, but fasting is good. But
Mhm.
just, you know,
Yeah.
I just can't
I just
imagine
can't. I just can't.
not eating. But
for extended periods.
but
of time.
yes.
I feel you.
yes.
I feel you. on
Yeah.
that. Well, like I said, it's another episode. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Creatives Are Essential. Pick up some Creatives Are Essential merch.
Yeah.
Hopefully some new stuff coming out soon, you know, for the summertime.
Yeah. get you right.
CreativesAreEssential.co.
Ooh.
I'm thinking about some socks, you know.
Ooh.
Like the high socks, like tube socks.
Hmm
That'd be dope.
I am. So,
That would be really dope.
yes.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So get all your updates on Instagram. Creatives Are Essential. And
With
we have a
that hoodie?
TikTok with nothing on it, but you can follow that.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I'm Christina.
I'm Mark Lee.
Des.
Yo.
Peace out, guys. Gang, gang.